In order to determine the best path for a musician, and I'm not just talking about technique and curriculum, but to really ascertain achievable goals, it's crucial for you to assess not just your level of skill and talent, but also your level of commitment and willingness to develop enough discipline to complete these objectives. At Performers Career Center, we have two basic training paths or tracks that you can follow. The first is the stage performer track. This is our singing performer who has no interest in contributing to the creative output, but wants to perfect their voice, interpret music, and develop perfect comfort on stage in front of audiences. The second path is the recording artist. This is someone who also longs to sing well, but primarily wants to use their voice as a means of communicating their original ideas, their lyrics, and even their own music. Both paths may consider playing other instruments as well, but for the recording artist, it's a necessary tool, just as a hammer is to a carpenter. So in terms of singing, the stage performer is primarily an interpretive vocalist, and the recording artist is primarily a creative vocalist. Now, within these tracks, there are 5 categories based on the level of commitment a musician has. In the stage performer track, we call level 1 the shower singer. This is our complete newbie. They don't really have grand singing aspirations and mainly just want to get out of their shell. Often shy speaking in front of people, they don't have very powerful voices and certainly not much vocal range. I mean, it's hard enough for them just to match a pitch correctly, but in spite of all that, they have a strong desire to sing and a sneaky lurking talent that tells them with just a little effort, they can see massive improvements quickly. In terms of experience, shower singers usually sang a little bit as a child or they sang in church. As far as output goals, a shower singer would be thrilled just to stand up and perform karaoke well, or maybe even match pitch to the point where they could join a choir, or maybe they want to get really confident in public speaking or for some kind of presentation that they have coming up. Maybe it's a wedding and they're doing a toast. Level 2 is what we call the karaoke king. This is a more serious potential singer whose talent has been commented on by others, family, friends, but they really struggle with large ranges and vocal transitions. Level 2 is going to have a little bit of maybe solo experience. Maybe they kind of play the piano or guitar, they pick at it a little bit, high school band that they sang in, or something like that. A level 2 should be focused on the open mic scene, being accompanied by other people. They want to obviously rule at karaoke, but it's time to kind of stand out now. A choir solo, talent show, special event, maybe doing your first gift recording for a holiday or a family event, or your first little cover of a studio demo. Maybe make your artist page or do a cover on YouTube. Now, level 3 is where the confidence starts coming in. This is the cabaret crooner. They're not shy in public and they long to audition for something bigger. They aren't really career singers yet. They have experience in college, regional choir, solos, an a cappella group. Some even at this point have a music degree. They definitely have taken voice lessons. At this point, their output goals are going to be more about performing in public, but taking control of the performance. For example, playing and singing at the same time their own instrument, or audition for lead vocalist for a band, or maybe a lead role. They're going to start their professional theater auditions at this point if they are actors. Level 4s are what we call Broadway bound. Their weaknesses are not so much vocal. Although they might have a job that pays the bills, they're usually building toward making money from singing. Level 4s usually come to the table fairly accomplished. A lead singer in a professional band, high-level professional theater, high-level paid choir, or an opera ensemble, degrees from conservatories. They're going to want to be involved in a solo concert that promotes them, headlining a show. America's Got Talent, The Voice, American Idol, large-scale national anthems. And finally, level 5 is the virtuoso vocalist. These are singers who want to make a full-time career out of their voices, perfecting the human instrument. They have studied with very, very high-level teachers, been regional opera singers, won vocal competitions, solo concert, an opening act to a labeled singer or even bigger celebrity. This is where you want your Broadway lead role for sure. In the recording artist track, we call level 1 the diary dreamer, but doesn't quite have any tools to realize that dream. They're usually not musicians themselves, but are brimming with ideas, and they just think, what if? Our diary dreamer comes often with limited vocal ability. They love writing, can't sing the ideas. What they're lacking is the ability to get what's inside out. They just don't have the tools yet. Because they can't get the ideas outside, there aren't going to be many output goals, and they're just going to focus on being able to sing out thoughts, make themselves a little bit more musical, and craft with their words. Level 2 is what we call the garage bandit. See what I did there? This is where you find someone who improvises melodies, records them on their iPhone. They have a little basic knowledge of music. Maybe they can pluck out a piano from lessons as a kid, but the majority of what they do is by ear. They're going to be messing around with audio programs. They're going to be recording themselves a little bit. They're going to be asking friends for advice and starting to demonstrate. Garage Bandit output goals should be their first studio demo. Level 3 is the talented troubadour. Now it's time to get the music out and share it with the world, even if your technique and form aren't quite perfect yet. So the experience level is a little higher. You're going to have a moderate understanding of music theory, decent proficiency with at least one instrument. You're going to get the idea of sheet music even if you don't read it yet. You're going to have an excellent ear. You're going to record melodies often, and this is the point where they start writing out chords over their lyrics in what we call chord charts. And this is the point where they start going to open mics and sharing a little bit of what they've done. This is where you make your first studio demo. This is where your social media artist page starts. And this is probably where you're going to do your first music video, but a scaled down home production. Level 4 is the adept artisan. This is an experienced recording artist, fully committed to their craft. By this point, you can sing and play on your primary instrument very well. You've already sung in public, a lot, probably with a band. You know how to write out your music pretty well. You read music at this point. You write out lead sheets. You have decent proficiency with the audio editing program or digital audio workstation of your choice. You have definitely been to a recording studio at least once in your life at this point, and you have output. Goals include your first studio EP or album release, usually with a full band. At this point, we're involving other musicians. You have a promotional website that we want to go for. Now it's time to make a real music video, not just with your iPhone. And finally, level 5 is the living legend. These are the masterful singer-songwriters. Backgrounds in either jazz or classical composition. They have a masterful understanding of music theory. They definitely have a masterful level, or at least a highly proficient level with their primary instrument. Oftentimes, they will have excellent audio production skills. They'll work with more than one digital audio workstation, and they're very comfortable performing in public or in crowds. Definitely need to invest at this point. Studio album, a commercial grade press kit. Have an ensemble, or if you're solo, that's fine, but you need to tour. This is where your music needs to be published. And you definitely need to be writing for other high-level artists, bands, ensembles. The point at this stage is to get your music listened to by as many people as possible.